Behold, she who goes through the trash can. Isn't that right? She really hates being held. But you know what? She went through the trash can, so you deserve to be held. Oh, fuckface. Anywho. Oh, hi, Mark. On the first take, I was holding my pug, but I thought that was a little funnier. Was it funny? God, I need validation. Not really. Feel free to tell me I suck in the comments. Final Destination Bloodlines is the newest entry in the Final Destination series. A series that I'm not overly fond of. When I say that, I don't mean that I dislike Final Destination. I mean that I don't love Final Destination. I've never loved any of the Final Destination movies, except for that one time in college. But that one time at band camp. But you know, this new one, I honestly think is a step in the right direction. And by a step in the right direction, I just mean that it's good. It does the exact same thing that all the other Final Destination movies that you probably like do. Don't mind that sound. It's my other dog choking on air because he's a pug and he's got a snubby little face. All right, buddy. Yeah, you got a snubby little face. And he's ancient. He's like 900 years old. He's not quite that old, but he's up there. Anywho, yeah, so I like this movie. I'll just go ahead and spoil that for you right off the bat. I'm not going to spoil anything else for you because I don't want to. So there. No, really, I think you should go see the movie. Really, really cool movie. I wish that I could give you a plot synopsis, but my brain is so fucking scrambled. I just got off work, and that's what it'll do to you. I'll try. I'll try my best. I'll soldier through it for you. Final Destination Bloodlines is about a college-aged girl who is having these night terrors, and she pretty much wakes up screaming every single night, and as it turns out, the night terrors hold some kind of significance to her family's past. And she kind of goes down an investigative rabbit hole in order to find out why she's having these night terrors, what they mean. But what does it all mean, Basils? And you know, on the track to getting there, death starts killing people, and I'm not going to tell you any more than that. You can probably kind of figure, maybe even the trailer spoiled something. I don't think I watched any of the trailers. I was going to say you could probably kind of figure out where the movie's going based on the title, Bloodlines, but just in case you're as dense as I am, because, and let me tell you, not just physically am I dense, but like mentally, I am as dense as something that's dense. Hey, that was a good one there, huh? And so anyway, I'll get the good things about the movie out of the way first. And I really don't think there's any. I mean, there's some bad, I'm sure. I'm not recalling anything bad. I saw this movie last Saturday, so it's not exactly the freshest on the noodle, but it would make sense to get the bad out of the way first. I suppose if I had to nitpick anything bad out of it, dang, I wish I remembered what I was going to say. I had like this whole spiel in my head earlier about things that I didn't love about the movie. I don't really have that in my head right now. And for those of you who are uninitiated, Theatricality and deception. That's the Bane voice. Theatricality and deception. Powerful agents to the uninitiated. But we aren't uninitiated, are we, Bruce? For the uninitiated, I both have ADHD, like really bad, and I also don't edit my videos. So there's a lot of this. But the good stuff is the kills are amazing. I really love the setups to each kill. You know, like especially in the beginning, there's a great setup to the whole chain of events. You know, you have kind of the first domino that goes that knocks all over all the other dominoes, because in case you're unaware, that's how Domino's works. I'm kidding. Domino's makes pizza, you stupid bitch. But anyway, the I think I'm so funny. The way that they show the dominoes happening, and it almost does like the red herring thing, which I'm sure the other movies do it. It's been a while since I have actually sat down and watched the Final Destination movies, because like I said, they're not like my favorite movies. I do like them. I am entertained by them. They're just not movies that I usually reach for. Yeah, it does a really good job of that. All of our actors here are really likable. The main actress, I would say, maybe that's a con. She isn't like the most likable human on the planet. She's not unlikable. She's just not amazing. They do a good job, actually, though, of kind of portraying her. Well, I was gonna say her relationship with her brother, but in the beginning, it kind of doesn't seem like there's much of a relationship there, but they do a good job at growing that character into, like, in the beginning you think he's just some douchey teenager, and you kind of later find out why he's that way. It actually does stuff with the characters, which is crazy. Right, crazy. A horror movie with good that is a wacky concept, I tell you what. Horror film with good characters. There's one character, especially in here, who's going to steal your little heart. Oh, god damn it. Ryan, you degenerate. I think his name was Ryan. Dude with all the tattoos and the piercings. I love that guy. But, yeah, the characters are all pretty well done. They have some really good gags in here as far as laughs go, and I don't think they overdo the laughs either. I think that's something that's really good in this movie, especially like I think modern horror tends to do that, is they overdo the ha-has. I think especially like I'll just use Halloween 2018 for an example. Like they take moments that shouldn't be funny, and they try their hardest to make them funny, and it comes off as so forced. Like the moment in the hallway with the little kid Julian and his babysitter, and she comes out, he's like, oh shit, and you could like tell they were trying to play that for a joke, and then he's running down the stairs and Dave's going up the stairs and he's like, you're gonna die, Dave. Like, it was supposed to be a joke that we're in on, sort of. Not exactly like this, but kind of like in Scream. This is a much better example of comedy and horror, by the way. I'm not at all comparing them in the way that they are both sloppily executed. But in Scream, when Jamie Kennedy's looking at the TV and he's like, oh man, look behind you, Jamie. You know he's around. That's great, but in Halloween 2018, it comes off as like, okay, yeah, I understand you're winking at the game. You're winking because that's us. That's the audience. You're gonna die, Dave. I understand. I get what you're doing. Final Destination Bloodlines doesn't try hard like that. It's not. It's not a try hard. It just kind of does things. I'm like a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I caught it. Yeah, just kind of does things, and it succeeds very well in them. All of the jokes in the movie land, in my opinion, all the jokes that I remember. Don't quote me on that. There might be some ultra stinky stinkers in there that I am not recalling, but the couple that I do recall are pretty funny, and they're not all like verbal jokes or quips or whatever. There's some kind of visual gags and things that happen in the film. The I suppose if I could take one con of the movie, it would be that the ending feels a little forced. Which, giving nothing away, it just felt like they were really reaching for something to build upon what they had already done, or like a twist, or something to add to the movie to where this isn't just like happy ending. Which I guess how many like ways can you end a Final Destination movie? I don't know, dude. I feel like they've probably even used this ending before. I don't know. But I really like how, going back into the things I really like how they personify death. They do that really well. I don't feel as though the other Final Destinations movie, oh my god, Final Destinations movie, Final Destination movies do it as well as this movie does it. Not that I remember anyway. I think that this movie does a good job of that, where these characters are kind of talking to it as though it's physically present, and they can see it. And I really like that. It makes it feel more like a villain that we're kind of trying to work against, instead of just like some supernatural force of nature that is just kind of naturally going to run its course. It feels like a villain, and it feels like there are actual stakes, and you can actually beat it somehow. Yeah, I appreciate the way that it's personified in this movie. All of the acting performances were pretty good. I like all the actors and actresses. There's a scene, kind of a flashback scene that takes place in the 50s. I think that looks really cool. I love the 50s aesthetic in anything. I just think the 50s looked cool. All the clothes and the cars and just everything about it. The music. Yeah, man. What else? What else did I like about this movie? Like I said, I saw it on Saturday, so I'm not super fresh. Last Saturday. No shit, Sherlock. You saw it this Saturday? The Saturday that hasn't happened yet? Okay, Marty McFly. Good things. I think I already mentioned the kills, but the gore is out of this world. They do some good gore effects. You know what? And I'm going to stand here before you, just a boy standing before a girl, a boy standing before his cell phone, and I am saying it now. All right? I think this whole gore thing kicked off with Terrifier. I really do. And you're going to look at me and you're going to go, you're a stupid Terrifier fanboy. And I'm going to look at you and I go, stop reading my diary, Dad. And that's going to be the whole interaction. And I really do, though. I feel to a certain extent that Terrifier had a lot to do with this whole gore thing that we're doing now. Terrifier 1 came out in 2016. Halloween 2018 came out in... I wonder, in 2018, and that movie was a lot like gorier than I would say any other Halloween movie's ever been. Even like the Rob Zombie Halloween movies, those were violent, but they weren't that gory. Let's see, Hard Eyes came out this year. That was something that would have normally, I feel like, would have normally been like an urban legend where they don't show the kills all that much. Hard Eyes had some gnarly kills in it. The sadness came out, which obviously is a whole different ballgame, but just all of these gory horror flicks. I don't know about Clown in a Cornfield. Maybe that movie rocked balls too and was just super, super gory. But I feel like this gore is pretty new. I feel like prior, these movies wouldn't have been this gory. This one is a bad example because I think probably the Final Destination movie probably would have been pretty gory either way. I just wanted to take this moment and talk to you, girl to girl, because that is how I feel in my heart of hearts. And we're not in my therapy session, are we? Shit. That was a lot of talking. I'm gonna be honest. That was a lot of fucking talking. All things considered, and all things considered. Final Destination Bloodlines is, in my opinion, the best of the series, and I feel like everyone said that. I'm sorry that I'm not different, and that's the thing that I've been saying to myself in the mirror for like 25 years. Why can't you be different? Why are you like all the others? I don't even know what that meant. I'm trying to be funny. I'm sorry. But, yeah. Sorry, my opinion's not different, but it is what it is. That's how I felt about the movie. Again, I like all the other ones, but this one is, in my opinion, a cut above the rest. So, what would I rate it? I guess that's the question I need to ask myself now, because I didn't really think about that too much. I would probably rate it like an 8.5. I think that's a pretty good rating, because even though right now, again, sorry, I'm really scatterbrained, but right now I can't think of any negatives. I am positive there are some in there. Just none that I am computing at the moment. And as I said, I don't edit these videos. I'm not going to edit these videos. You can kiss my dirty sock. Sorry, that was a little too far. But I'm not going to edit them. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll go into like the description and type out any negatives that I had with the film later. But I know there are some. I just can't think of anything. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot that. That's not a negative. Tony Todd has a scene in this film. And it's great. It's a little emotional for fans, and it's something that I guess I've heard that some of it was ad-libbed by Tony Todd himself, and it was supposed to be a message for fans, and that's really sweet. It sucks that guy's not with us anymore. Forever, Reverend Zombie in my heart. So, yeah. But that was another thing that I liked about the movie. That was nice. Anyway, guys, hopefully I'll catch you on the next one.